All right, YouTube, Repo Man 64. It's 46 degrees out here. It is cold. I don't know if I can stand this cold temperature. I spoke too early on my last video, and when it was 70 and hot, mosquitoes are flying around. This is Florida for you, though. It just changes every day. All right, Dr. Barry made a new video. Let's go see what he says. I don't know if you can hear this or not. Maybe I have to get closer to it. Wonder what date he has. I keep hitting the wrong button. Sorry about this. I should have had this set up. And it's not playing. Oh, I gotta get better at this. Oh, come on. Yeah, I have no technology skills whatsoever. Sorry about that. Give me 1 second. Bear with me here for a second. Come on. Go to channel. Maybe that's it. Oh, there we go. I think it's working.
Time of the harvest and the rain.
I don't know what that means.
And we're back! Mr. Bones, we are back. Oh, what would he do? I'm not even happy to be here. Oh, Mr. Bones, I understand. But don't feel that way. Oh no, I'm down. And down is where I'm staying. Mr. Bones, I'm gonna try to pick you up with some good news. You know, it's been a little quiet in the Watchman community.
It
And
hasn't
there's a
been
good reason.
quiet.
Why do you think that reason is, Mr. Bones? Oh, I know what you're gonna say. Cause there's no appointed time. Well, Mr. Bones, I think we've learned God's way. He showed us all throughout His Word.
Wonder what date he has.
And remember,
This is so exciting.
it's not just any old appointed time. Moed, the appointed times of God, it literally translates as God's appointments with mankind. Now, do you think that the rapture is one of God's appointments with mankind?
Yes, yes, I do.
Hey, yeah, I know. Well, then we should be looking up. And there's absolutely nothing wrong with having a little time that we can look forward, that it's not an emergency watch. You know, we've been on high watch alert for about 7 years. And we're going to talk about that specific time period in a minute. But we've been like going from week to week, 2 weeks max. You know, never
Still
more
doing that.
than a month before we're on wide alert. And as we've gone over these 7 years, we've learned a lot. And we've learned what is truly high watch of one of God's appointments and what is not really applicable for us. So, you know, I might get disagreement, and that's fine. And I don't want to step on anybody's toes or discourage anybody. So continue on as you feel led by the Spirit. But for me and my family, we believe that the winter is a time of death and of closing in, and the rains, and the rapture is going to happen at the time of life and the time of the harvest. And the rains are over, the winter is gone, and now appears the flowers and the turtle doves and the figs. Come away, my love, my dove, my fair one. So that's the way we interpret what we've learned over the years. Sure, at the beginning, you look at everything. You look at everything because you don't know nothing, right? But I enjoy that over these years we've gone through a learning process, and like the Lord.
Okay, I guess we're not going to get a date from Dr. Barry. I believe what he's saying. I didn't have a chance to watch the entire thing, but he's not looking at anything before um, the fall, I think. Our next appointment that he's calling it, Kaseh, um, on the menorah, the seven feasts. The next one is going to be on March 30th at Passover. Now, I showed you the world is looking at March 22nd, 23rd, and that's fine. It's March 30th on the timeline where Jesus says, "Are there not 12 hours a day?" That's where we start the year. Yes, Patrick from Watchman. Uh, I have a picture of it this time. At the end, I'll show you his YouTube, and he's actually come up with a really interesting video pointing to the Day of Equal Parts, March 16th, which again for me that's a little bit far. So, Repo Man 64. My hair's what I have left is a mess. Welcome to the secret broadcast cave. Let me get into the pictures. All right, let's see here. Where do we start? Now, before any of you think that I'm going against Dr. Barry, I am not. I respect that man, like, ultimately, because he has found us all of the seven appointed feast days that are a part of the menorah and walked us through them year after year. And he is convinced himself that the rapture must occur on one of those seven. I respectfully disagree. I think the rapture is a standalone day, and I think that it's going to happen on a day that has nothing to do with those seven. I remind you uh, what I found in relation to the moon. This is not only to start the year, this is not only to stop people from using the moon to start a month and to come up with the wrong day. Remember, the Levites were going into the temple, the Holy of Holies, and they would tie a rope around them because they kept going in there on the wrong day because they began observing the moon based on 400 BC when I think it's the Romans that forced the new moon calendar on them, and they worked it all out to where every so often they had to have an extra month, a dar. None of this is biblical. You will find none of what they're doing in the Bible. However, you will find Jesus making the statement, "Are there not 12 hours a day?" That's how we know the day that Lazarus died. And when you count, sorry, I'm shivering. It's like 46 out here. It's so cold. I should have wore more than this old jacket I have. Um, so anyway, there are two words. He's using one, moed. He's correct. Moedin means appointed time, but there's another one. It is called kaseh. Kaseh is time appointed. It's reversed. Kaseh, time appointed. Moed is appointed time. There is going to be a time appointed that I believe the rapture will occur, and it will have nothing to do with those seven feasts. Again, all respect to Dr. Barry. If it wasn't for him, I would have never found where to lay all of the seven feasts that he found and in the order that he put them onto the timeline. And so don't ever think that I would go against Dr. Barry, because I am not. All right, let me get into the pictures and show you what we got. I don't remember where to start. Let's see here. I think right here. This was a post on Facebook. Got a Minute has a Facebook, and Teresa Romig put a post in there. She did an incredible study. It was a lot more than what I'm showing you because I wanted to get to a point. And what she has found is incredible. and she's gotten all the dates from Esther. In Esther, there are a ton of dates, and the one that jumps out the most is here, um, the 10th month of Tibet. Well, guess what? That's Tibet. Guess what? Tomorrow is the last day of Tibet. Tomorrow is Tibet 30, and the following day will be, um, I'm going to forget what the following day will be. Let me look here on the timeline. Shavat. On January the 15th, we'll begin Shavat 1. And so, where Esther's concerned, the last day of Tevet will be on January the 14th. So, as we go forward, like I've showed you, beginning on Monday, will be Shavat 1. Sunday will be the last day of Tevet. Monday will begin Shavat, and it will run through. Um, I think it's February the 14th. And Adar will go through up until the end of the year. Adar 31. Adar has 31 days. It's one of the four gates, and it ends on March the 16th. It is setting up the Sabbath for the following year, which I believe, if I'm correct, March 16th lands on a Saturday this year. I think last year it was on a Thursday. I think all year long the Sabbath was on a Thursday. So, Purim, what are we looking for? What I can't assign the rapture to one of the seven feasts. I can't do it because we're to watch always, and we're to take into consideration all of these dates. Even, and I showed you this before, let me see if I can find it real quick. Even back in the day, right here, now this is extra biblical, it's historical, but 550 days after Jesus rose, went to the cross, somebody pointed out that it does say after he rose, but this is an entire 3 day event. They, of course, and we, of course, will always look at the fact that Jesus conquered death and rose on the third day. But he went to the cross on March the 30th, and 150 days after that, perfectly, sorry, 550 days, 1 year, and several months after that, 550 days will land on his birthday. So you would think that the cross would be a very high watch day because that is a Moed. That's the first one. That's Passover. And then his birthday on September the 30th is Feast of Tabernacles. So that's a very high watch day. I don't know which one Dr. Berry is looking at, but there are many other, and they were laying out there. They were laying out there watching, waiting, and Jesus did appear to them and spoke to them. So that's incredible. But we're coming up tomorrow on the last day of Tibet. William Pierce did a very good video. I enjoyed it, talking about a leap day rapture. Now, we don't know why. The Gregorian calendar was created because the Julian calendar is literally not good. It's literally wrong. Um, it's not. The Hebrews are still using it, but it's off by every 300 years. It's off by a day. So that's why at current point I think it's off by 14 or 15 days from the last 500 years. It's not good how far off it is. So, but people will still point out, well, on this day, and it just doesn't work. So, um, William Price did a video on Leap Day Rapture. I really enjoyed that. Now he's using February the 29th. You got to ask you, here's what amazes me about the timeline, figuring out that March the 16th was the first day, and that is March the 17th is St. Patrick's Day. And it goes on. It turns out that Jesus was conceived on Christmas Day and born on Tabernacle. It all lines up so perfectly on the timeline that it really can't be a mistake because it's combining both Gregorian and uh, the biblical dates together, and it's conjoining them. So the Gregorian calendar is very important, and I think God moved the people of old to create the calendar to make it the way it is. So here we have February 29th coming up this year. So I thought that was pretty interesting, the work he did to get to that date. All right, where are we at here? Let's keep going. Esther. Okay, I just wanted to show you all of the dates that are in here. Now, notice something in here when it's talking about how long something took. Remember, God, for lack of a better word, took 6 months away from us. He made us relive 6 months. He said in September the 15th, no, I need you to go back and start the head of your year on March. We already lived those 6 months. There's an extra 6 months in there that we had to go through. Now, we went through it once, but I'm just saying, technically, coming up on March 16th, it technically is September the 15th. So, or March the 17th. It's technically September the 15th. I know this gets confusing. Try to make it simple, but right here you see in Esther that they backed the days up. Well, he's talking forward, but it's talking about 180 days. So, and when those days were expired, the king made a feast unto all the people that were present in Shushan, the palace, both unto great and small, 7 days. So, and remember when Jacob wound up with Leah, Laban, the father, said, give Leah her 7 days, and then you can have Rachel. But you get Rachel, but you have to continue working for me for another 7 years. So it's almost like the bride goes, and then not very far after that, the saints go. I know a lot of people are pointing to 3.5 years, and I do believe, just like the story of Jacob, Leah, and Rachel, he had to keep working for those 7 years, but he kind of cheated the system. He kind of got uh, Rachel after 7 days, but he had to keep working. There was work to be done during that period of time. So there's a lot of dates in here. A lot of dates come up in Ezra. And on the seventh day, the heart of the king was merry with wine. He commanded, I'm not even going to say all those names, the seven chamberlains to that served in the presence of Ahasuerus the king to bring Vashti. This is where he calls for his wife to come, the queen, and she refuses. So he's upset. He gets rid of this queen. God called the Jews. They will not respond. They will not listen. So there is a replacement that comes in, and the replacement is Esther. The king said unto the wise men which knew the times, see that the wise men know the times. We know the times. For so was the king's manner towards all that knew the law and judgment. So the king, somewhat respected those who are searching for the time, for the understanding of when this is going to happen. All of us, I mean all of us that are searching for this time of when this is going to happen, whether we think it's going to happen tomorrow or on February 29th or on March 16th, all of us, or even in September, all of us are searching for this, trying to figure it out when it's going to happen. So Esther was taken unto King Ahasuerus into the house royal in the 10th month, which is the month Tebeth, in the 7th year of his reign. So again, we have the 7 and we have the month Tebeth, which ends tomorrow. So a high watch day. I'm pointing out tomorrow as being a high watch day. Not the highest I've ever seen, but a high watch day nonetheless. In the first month, that is the month Nisan, in the 12th year of King Ahasuerus, they cast pur, that is the lot. So they gambled for Haman from the day to day and from month to month, the 12th month, that is the month Adar, which is the month that we will be coming into here in the middle of February. Then, when the king's scribes called the 13th day of the first month. So, what happened on the 14th day of the first month? We know that Jesus went to the cross. This is the 13th day of the first month. Remember that Haman decided that he would kill all the Jews, but The problem was is that the father of Esther, or the stepfather of Esther, the uncle I think it was, um, had done something to save the king because there were two people that were in cahoots to kill him, and Mordecai is his name actually, and he said told Esther, and Esther told the king. The king executed those two. But now Haman, and he said, I owe this guy my life. I owe him something. But nothing was ever given to him. He waited and waited and waited, but nothing was ever given to him. And for his reward, Haman wanted him dead, but the king realized what he was doing, and I believe he armed the Jews to win the little battle that he had signed into law. He couldn't go back on his word, but he armed them so that they could win the battle. And what does he do? He hangs, or kills Haman and hangs Haman's 10 children on the very gallows that he had created to kill the Jews on. So here we have the 13th day of the 12th month, which is the month of Adar, to take the spoil of them for prey. So he was going to take all of their stuff and kill them. Then were the king's scribes called at that time in the third month, which is the month Sivan, in the 3 and 20th day, and the 23rd day. So there's so many dates in this. There's so many dates in Esther. I'm imagining that Commander Kelly, I haven't seen a video from him in a while, but I imagine that Cool Cat, when he gets a bone, it's like a dog with a bone. He goes after it, and he will be able to work through all of these dates much better than I. But what is the 13th day of the 12th month? It keeps repeating it. 13th day of the 12th month. 13th day of the 12th month. The 12th month. That is the month of Dar. He makes it super clear. It's the month of Dar. It's the 13th day. What happens on the 13th day? Here we go again. And he slew 300 men at Shushan, but the prey they laid not on their hands. So for the Jews that were in Shushan gathered themselves together on the 14th day, say they were supposed to be taken out on the 13th day. On the 14th day, they took them out instead. Here we go again. On the 13th day of the month of Adar, it just repeats it over and over. I would say that the 13th day of Adar is spoken of more than the 24th day of the ninth month that we saw in uh, Haggai. I would say that this date is used more. We'd have to read through all 10 chapters, but uh, verses or chapters, and we to see which one was used more. And there it says, the Feast of Purim is instituted. Let's see. Yep. Again, the 13th day thereof and the 14th thereof on the 15th day. So they named the 14th day, they made the 14th day of the month of Adar a day of gladness and feasting and a good day of sending portions one to another. To establish this among them, they should keep the 14th day of the month of Adar. You see how many times it's going to repeat the same date so many times. What?
Oh man, 64. Dixie. Whoa, whoa, whoa. She likes carrots. You want another carrot, Dixie?
Okay. I forgot I put that on there. Um, Oh, somebody had asked me what the 1335 means. It's 1,335 years since the Dome of the Rock. It was actually, we don't know exactly the date. Well, I mean, we don't know what date the 1335 would count from. What it didn't count from 685. It is now, if you do the math, I think it's 688. So we still have six. um 669 and a half, so, or 680, what is that, 16, oh, 691 and a half. So for that, sorry, that was a question I answered. Got a minute. Remember, he did this, and this is pretty cool. I took a picture of it. um, he shows the 68 pattern, and January the 23rd would be a very high watch day as well, because it's a 68 pattern. And then it would come, and this is when World War One broke out. It was a 68 pattern. World War Two broke out, 68 pattern, and then here in 2024. And you can find this same 68 pattern in 2025 as well, but it would happen on this is when not the rapture so much as when World War III would break out. We would guesstimate that we would be gone before World War III breaks out, and that's what's restraining everything right now is us. We're restraining everything. That's why it hasn't gone full blown crazy yet, is because we're still here. Um, oh yeah, it's 48. Oh, it's so cold. So anyway, that was a rough video. I'm going to work on Esther. Hopefully, Commander Kelly works in Esther a little bit with all that date that keeps coming up. Let me look again at Adar 20. Sorry, Adar 14. Where is that at exactly? And we know that it's Purim. That's what they called it. Adar will be February the 28th. And then I just showed you that the guy's video about February the 29th being, it is a kaseh, is it not? Kaseh simply means hidden day, appointed time, time appointed. It goes back and forth between those meanings, moed, moedin. And that's why I would consider just about any date to be a rapture date because and as we watch we're seeing everything going on around the world. We're listening to the global rapture watchers, Patrick over it. Hey, what happened to Patrick? I thought I took a picture of his thing. Let me see something here. Let me see if I can mess around with this again. Let's see. Dr. Barry, Dr.
So
Barry, Dr. Barry.
that's the way we interpret.
Let's see here. Where did he go? uh Why is it all Dr. Barry? Everything is Dr. Barry. Am I stuck on his channel? Oh, I know what I have to do. Hold on. Oh, Cool Cat did do something there. I just don't know what. 1 minute long. End Time Watchman, Patrick over at End Time Watchman. He said he found something and he used March 16th, the day of equal parts. And then William Pierce, this is his. And Garrett, the news guy, he gave a whole story. The guy hunted a bear. I was listening to this video and he's like, he hunted a bear and took down a bear. And I'm like, I've never hunted a bear. I've never hunted anything. I've never hunted a squirrel. So that's pretty incredible. I mean, I grew up on a farm, but they were domesticated. We didn't go after anything wild. He was in a helicopter, another helicopter almost hit him. I was just like, what in the world? So, uh, anyway, I just thought I'd get on here, poke a little fun at Dr. Barry. It's okay, Dr. Barry. I'm just messing with you. I think that just my personal opinion, I don't think it's going to be on any one of those 7 feast days. I believe it's going to be a standalone day. And the closer we get, the more heated things will get, and the more we'll see that we're right at it. So, all right, Repo Man 64. Somebody put in there that they would like shorter, more concise videos. I've been thinking about just dedicating a quick video to the timeline, a quick video to a study, shorten it up a little bit. But then others were like, no, we like the hour-long videos. So I like the long ones myself because I listen at work. It's a lot easier. So, but anyway, Repo Man 64. It's not raining, so I'm gonna go back inside because it's literally like 45 out here. It's so cold. I don't know how you guys are dealing with the sub-zero stuff. I don't know how Garrett's doing it. I think he said it was like 40 below or 30 below. I don't even know what that means. That's insane. Why isn't everybody in Florida? Wait, no, don't all move here. That'd be bad. It's terrible here. You don't want to come here. It's cold here too. All right, Repo Man 64. Talk with you later. How does what's his name do that? Aaron. Got a minute. Talk to you later.